So the 12th aspect of school health service is maintenance of school health records. So purpose is to have cumulative information on health aspects, to analyze and evaluate school health programs, and to provide a useful link between home, school and community. So now the school health administration. So who is going to manage all the school health services? So each school health administration is different in different countries. So in India it is administered through Departments of Health and Education. So when it comes to the health departments, it is the primary health centers which are managing. So we need to have one medical officer for 5,000 to 6,000 children, and you need to take the help of the other staff of the PHCs. And there are certain school health committees which are formed to mobilize the community resources to make the school health programs self-supporting. So this is about school health service. So the next topic I'll be dealing will be the adolescent health. So now coming to the adolescent health. So I request you all to save this PPT because adolescent health is given in bits and pieces in PARC. I've tried to concise everything and put it in one place. So kindly go through this in detail and please concentrate and listen as well. So now what is adolescent health? As I thought school health and adolescent health are closely related, I thought I would cover both these topics in a single class. So now what is the importance of adolescent health? So adolescence is a stage of human development encompassing the transition from childhood to adulthood. So here we see biological changes and sexual maturation is seen during this transition, which we call it as puberty. So now the age period between 10 to 19 years for both sexes is called as adolescence. And whom do we call them as youth? So the youth are between 15 to 24 years and young people are 10 to 24 years. So I'm sure all of you belong to the group of youth because maybe you all are under 21 to 22 years of age now. So and this is the most healthiest period of life and the most problematic period also. So what are the special characters of adolescent health? So here we see rapid physical growth and development. There is rapid social and psychological development. There is sexual maturity and onset of sexual activity. And there is experimentation. They have the things to experiment on newer things. And onset of reproductive cycle starts in the period of adolescence. Now what are the different stages? Again, early adolescence is between 10 to 13 years, wherein you see growth spurt and secondary sexual characters appear at this age. Mid-adolescence is between 14 to 16 years. Independence and identity is what they seek for. Experimentation and relationship with peers and opposite sex gain prominence in mid-adolescence. Late adolescence is 17 to 19 years. Now, what are the adolescent health issues or the adolescent health problems? So, they have certain illnesses which may be related to precocious or delayed puberty, short stature, or it can be asthma, congenital and rheumatic heart disease. And there are health issues related to risk-taking behavior like unintended injuries with respect to automobiles and sports-related accidents. There can be intended injuries like violence, homicide and suicide. And there can be STDs, HIV and AIDS because of the risk-taking behavior. And substance abuse again is one of the important concerns. And there are nutritional problems such as malnutrition. So malnutrition can be either overnutrition or undernutrition. It covers both the ends of the spectrum. So it can be obesity, overweight in one spectrum, or it can be protein energy malnutrition and micronutrient deficiencies in the other spectrum. So the nutritional problems are malnutrition, micronutrient deficiencies, obesity and eating disorders. Now, the reproductive health problems are teenage pregnancy, abortion related problems, menstrual problems, and reproductive tract infections. And there are mental health problems like substance abuse, violence, depression and suicide, learning disorders, and other psychiatric problems. Now, what is a need for adolescents? So, what is their needs? So, what is it which they want? So they want correct information on health, reproduction, nutrition, growth and development, sexuality, HIV/AIDS, STDs, and about adequate diet. So in simple, it is all the health issues or health problems or the issues what they have needs to be addressed. And they need to know about healthy lifestyles. They want to know what do we mean by healthy lifestyles. They want to know more about education. They want to know about safe and supportive environment and about counseling. Now, why invest in adolescent health? Again, this may sound a little repetitive, but still I want to reinforce this. So, why is it important, or why do we invest in adolescent health? Yes, there are health benefits. So, it focuses on current and future health. Yes, the current health of the adolescent is important. And again, a good healthy adolescence will be our future generation. So it is about future health as well. And intergenerational effects. Yes, if the adolescent is well taught, or if IEC activities are well given, they go and teach their parents. And once they become adults, they instill the same healthy lifestyles in their children, and the cycle will continue. And yes, economic benefits are seen, improved productivity, and which will elevate future health cost also, because a healthy adolescent is a healthy adult in future. So it will elevate future health costs, and it is a human right. Now, prevention. Yes, so we know these are the adolescent health issues. We know what is the importance of adolescent health. So how are we going to prevent? So what are the different levels of prevention? So as you all know, we always have 3 levels of prevention: primary, secondary, and tertiary prevention. So in primary prevention, what is it you need to do? So you have IEC is very important, that is information, education and counseling. And there are certain policies related to adolescent health. Secondary prevention, you try to identify and reduce the risk. You identify the risk factors, or you identify the health issues, and you either treat them or you want to reduce the risk factors. Tertiary prevention focuses on rehabilitation. Now coming to primary prevention, I said IEC is important. So you have to focus on promoting healthy development and establishment of healthy lifestyles. So for establishment of healthy lifestyles and promote healthy development, IEC is the only tool which we have. So IEC is information, education and counseling. IEC otherwise also is called as BCC, which is behavioral change communication. So we need to focus on this only tool. So give information, education and counseling on the various aspects. So we know what are the needs for adolescents, to pick up each and every topic in the needs and give IEC with respect to each and every topic. It can be repetitive, it can be once in 3 months or 6 months. This is the only way wherein we can reinforce. Then comes to policies and legislation. So there are certain various policies and legislations. We know that there is concepts of minor. So below 18 years of age is a minor, and there are certain legislations related to marriage. So the boy can marry only after the age of 21, a girl after the age of 18. These are some of the legislations. Then reproductive health also has got certain legislations with respect to pregnancy and MTPs. Substance abuse, yes, there is no alcohol, there is no tobacco sale in and around the school premises, in and around the colleges. All these are some of the legislations. And there are legislations with respect to occupational health, wherein they cannot appoint children in any industries. And there are certain legislations with respect to accidents. For example, seat belts, and the driving license is given only after the age of 18. So these are some of the examples. Now coming to secondary prevention. So secondary prevention is you want to diagnose and treat. So how are you going to diagnose and treat? So you can only diagnose based on screening. So what are the common problems for which you are going to screen? You are going to screen for any visual defects, any oral health problems, or any learning disorders, or any other illnesses and risk behaviors, because these are the important issues which we come across in adolescence. Now how are you going to screen? You can screen through schools, you can screen through workplaces, or through youth organizations. Now what is tertiary prevention? Yes, so you focus on tertiary prevention, always focuses on rehabilitation. So you encourage the child to develop physically, psychologically and socially to the best of his ability and capability, irrespective of his illness or his intelligence or whatever. So to the best of his capability and ability, he has to develop physically, psychologically and socially. So that is what we focus in rehabilitation. And the rehabilitation requires cooperation between many sectors. So this is about prevention. So now why adolescent immunization is important? So again, immunization is very important here to boost immunity that is decreasing and to have specific protection. So there is immunization schedule for adolescents, which you can just go through this slide. You will know the different immunizations and the period which has to be given and the interval of each and every dose. Then the next component which we have to focus in adolescent health is menstrual hygiene, so which is very important to prevent infection, local itching and bad odor. So the girls should be advised to take bath daily. Not only the girls, even the boys need to take bath. But with respect to menstrual hygiene, yes, we are educating the girls that they take bath daily and use cotton undergarments. And cloth or sanitary napkin is a personal choice, but they should be clean and changed frequently as needed. If cloth is used, it should be washed well before reuse and not used for more than 3 months. And cloth should be very soft. Rough or thick clothes can cause irritation and itching. Now, what are the national programs for adolescents? So, Adolescent Health Program, which comes under RMNCH Plus A, is one of the national health programs related to adolescents. So, what is RMNCH Plus A? So, it stands for Reproductive, Maternal, Neonatal, Child Health plus Adolescent Health Program. So it is RMNCH, Reproductive, Maternal, Neonatal and Child Health. So plus Adolescent Health was added to this program. So that is why it is called as Plus A, RMNCH Plus A. However, the details of RMNCH program will be covered in 3 to 4 classes in your 7th term. Now I'll just focus on only the highlights of Adolescent Health program, which comes under RMNCH. So what are the interventions of this program? So we focus on nutrition, adolescent nutrition, wherein iron and folic acid supplementation is given for adolescents. And there is facility-based adolescent reproductive and sexual health services, which are called as ARSH. They are adolescent health clinics. And information and counseling in adolescent sexual, reproductive and other health issues. Now the other 2 interventions are menstrual hygiene and preventive health checkups. So there are certain related national health programs which are related to adolescent health. So which are they? There are around 2. So National HIV/AIDS Control Program. So they focus on a lot of IEC activities for adolescents and they give AIDS education in schools. And we have another program called as ICDS, which is Integrated Child Development Scheme, which is also related to adolescent health. So the objectives are improve health and nutritional status, provide literacy skills, awareness on health, hygiene, nutrition and family welfare, train and equip in vocational skills. So this is about adolescent health. So thank you all for your patient listening. So please, as I said, preserve this PPT because adolescent health is not given in one place. It's given in bits and pieces in part. So thank you once again.